Right. Hi, everyone. Tom, is it streaming on YouTube? I don't have it open. Is it all good?
I don't see it yet.
Okay, live.
I will do a refresh.
Okay. People, can you let us people know if you can see us and hear us in the comments? I can see the comments. I just can't see whether we are actually live on YouTube or not. Stream is working. Thank you, Nuno.
Perfect.
Okay. So before we start, excuse our very professional slideshow. We just couldn't figure out how to, it was just, never mind. We're just going to show you the slides this way. But yeah, welcome to our stream, Laravel stream, our first live stream. We're going to be building a Laravel package. This originally came out of my discussion with Tom when he just pointed out that one thing in the newsletter really looked nice, this tweet I'm going to show you in a minute. And he said, why don't you build it as a package? I was like, well, I don't know how. And he said, well, I'll help you. And a few weeks later, here we are doing a live stream. To be honest, I have no idea what am I even doing here, how this happened. It was supposed to be a, friendly, just like a mentoring session between me and Tom, and suddenly we are on YouTube. So this is going to be fun. A little bit about myself. I am Susanna. I am the founder of Larabelles. It still seems weird to say that, but I suppose it's official. I am a web developer. I am Laravel developer currently. Started as a WordPress developer, but Laravel is my place. And yeah, so this is me. Now I'm going to pass you on to Tom.
Yeah, hello all. I'm Tom. I'm a developer professional since 2013 and started 15 years ago. And yeah, I'm pretty active as an open source developer in Laravel community. And yeah, I will try to help Susanna today to build a Laravel package.
You'll try, okay.
I try my best. So let's show our initial trigger for this package.
Again, very high tech. Sorry. Oh, hold on. Let me download pictures. So this is our, I think, most recent newsletter, February. Yes, the March one, by the way, is coming out next week. So when Tom received this newsletter, he pointed out that he really liked this snippet.
Yeah.
And
exactly. So how cool is it to mail a tweet? I've seen it in several newsletters that a tweet was, quoted, but never this cool.
Yeah.
So I've asked Susanna how she did it, and she said it was like a template or similar snippet in her newsletter tool. And so I asked her to bring it to Laravel community. So we can so we can do it in all Laravel projects like plain Laravel and also Spatie mail. I forgot the name. I'm sorry, Spatie. It's the newsletter mail package of Spatie. You know what I mean. And similar things like this. Exactly. This is what we try to create today. It will be a Blade component, so we can switch to the next slide.
And by the way, I don't think we're going to finish everything today. So
yeah, sure. I think so too. So the super first will be possibly obvious, but we will keep it on stream so everyone can follow from the totally start. We will create a repo, and after this we create the basic Laravel package things like composer.json, service provider, initial directories, initialize PHP unit, as it's very helpful in testing your package. And after this, the third step will be creating the Blade component, so the real logic and view and so on we want to bring into the package. And the fourth step will be to retrieve the Twitter tweet data via the API. So to have it dynamic and
And you've kindly provided us with some resources.
Yeah, I have collected some links and resources. So links are for tools you have to use or could need. Like packages is the way to go to publish a composer package. The first two links are really helpful. They are provided by GitHub. So you can use this repo.new to create a new GitHub repository. Shields.io is a cool page. You've possibly seen these small badges on the top of nearly every README file, with containing the MIT license and PHP version, how many downloads, and so on. So this is what Shields.io does. And last one is from Beyond Code. They've cloned the Versal Open Graph image tool and customized it for composer packages. It's cool, so you can add an Open Graph and header image for your package, so it looks kind of professional if you share it, and also on the README. And so for resources below are some links. I think the most important one is the first one, laravelpackage.com. It contains really a lot of resources, also linking to several other things like the Spartier package skeleton and boilerplate also, and some things like this. The second one is a paid one. If we want to go really deep into package development, it's provided by Spartier and is a paid course for Laravel package development. And third one is a skeleton, which is helpful if you just want to care about your package logic and don't care about the surrounding stuff like service provider and so on. And the fourth one is a little bit outdated, I think. It's also a skeleton provider provided by Beyond Code, but they haven't upgraded yet to the latest Laravel versions and PHP versions, or at least it was so 1 month ago. I've used it the last time. Yeah.
Okay. Some of the things I had, when you sent me the links, I didn't know. Even the repo.new, it's so nice. I had no idea. we're gonna use it in a minute, so if people don't know, but I had no idea. And I didn't know about, so this shields.io, I've seen these badges on repos, but I never kind of looked into how they're done. And it's just, so it's gonna be fun. So we're gonna take this project from beginning to the end. And apparently we are not taking any shortcuts, which is going to be fun because I'm going to be coding everything from scratch. So we're not using the skeleton.
No.
And I don't know how I feel about it. I'm just going to go with the flow because, you know what, I'm going to be honest with you all. I've done PHP package for work some months ago, I don't know how long ago, but I forgot everything since then because I moved on to other things. And I thought, shall I prepare? Shall I do some, revision before the stream? And then I was like, no, I'm not going to, because if I do, I might not ask some of the right questions. I want this to be beginner friendly. So if somebody never done a package before, so they don't feel like, oh, I wish I knew that. So I'm going to try to ask all the right questions. So that's why I didn't prepare, which also means that I'm kind of putting myself up for it's going to be either great fun or it's going to be terrible, but we will just see how it goes. So I'm just going to go with the flow. We'll see how it goes. So what do we do
One question in the comment. Yes, I think we will publish the links and resources and all the stuff, possibly on slideshow, share, whatever, or put them in the repository we will create right now. So you will definitely get access to them. I can also copy them right now and try to post them, but I think you can't click links in YouTube comments.
I'm going to add them to the description after this video, after we finished, and I'm going to edit the description of the video and then the README of the project as well, right? So we're going to add as many things as we can into the README. And so what do we do now? What should we do first? So let me just clear this way.
First one, repo.new.
Okay. So
your keyboard lost connection.
I know. See, this is the thing I said, that my keyboard does not like me streaming. And I'm like, oh no, don't tell me I have to sign up. Okay. I'm just going to do it off screen.
Patrick, we won't use package tools as it's a shorthand, and we want to create it the original way. And just mention tools like this. So experienced developers can shortcut, but people want to getting started and understand everything that's required also can follow and understand what's done behind the scenes.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I just took it off the screen because I've recently switched to this 2-factor authentication for GitHub. So now every time I want to log in, it asks me for this authentication code. And yeah. So what are we going to call this thing? Do we have it anywhere? So it was.
I think we don't have a name right now, but I would vote for Laravel tweet component.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty exactly what we will create.
Do we do any of these things, or do we just create repo, or do you want to initialize anything?
I always take the README and choose a license.
Okay, which license?
MIT is like the default. If you want to go really deep into licenses, there are tools out there that explain licenses, and you can ask a lawyer. So this is the way to go. But MIT is like the default. I think you have to refresh right now. GitHub has a bug in the last weeks exactly. Okay. So if you create a repository with these 2 checkboxes, you will or should end in this view. The one before is a view for an empty repository. So it seems that GitHub doesn't wait anymore till these 2 files are committed.
Okay.
So
here
now
we go.
check out.
Check out? What do you mean check out?
Clone the repository, sorry. So code and use the HTTPS or SSH.
Yeah, I'm going to SSH. Right, let me just find my... Hold on. I'm just going to take things off the screen randomly because this is the first time and I just don't want to show something I shouldn't show, but this is all good. Right, next one. I should also remind you people, if you want me to zoom in, let me know. I'm going to try to remember to zoom in. But if something needs to be bigger, please just shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. So next one.
Next step will be open such cloned repository in PHP Storm, VS Code, whatever editor you use, Sublime.
Okay.
This is part to you.
Yeah.
With PHP Storm, you can also check out the repository from PHP Storm. I do it all the time as it is pretty neat and has an amazing Git tool.
Yeah, I like it because you get to see all the changes you've done, and so quite like it. Yeah. I think I'm sure I'm using like 10% of all the PHP Storm functionality, but yeah. But the things I'm using are really useful. I keep saying I need to take a proper course because I'm sure once you know the tool you're using, you can be so much more productive. But yeah.
I can only recommend, I think it was Christoph Rampel, who is our Laravel PHP Storm legend. Yeah, it is. He also has a course mastering PHP Storm. Yeah. And he also shares a lot of free stuff on Twitter. So Christoph Rampel is a way to go for PHP Storm.
Yeah, I watched his talk on the latest Laracon Online, which was it February? And he had a talk about PHP Storm. So there were quite a few tips that I got from that. So what do we do now? What do we do next?
Uncollapse opens the Laravel tweet component directory in the project. Yeah. And I've sent you an zip archive. We will walk through all the files, but now is the moment you can copy all the files to this repository.
What files?
The zip file I've sent you on Discord.
Oh yeah, hold on. When was that? Yeah, so prepared. Oh yeah, I've got it. So prepared. Never mind. I'm not gonna even. Let me open it again. While I'm doing this, just keep talking.
Yeah, I will answer some questions. So Mohammed and Catherine already stated why we don't use the Spartier package tools. Like if you use a shortcut, you don't understand what's running or going on under the hood. And this is what we want to you be able to you know what I want to say, I hope. And yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna first the README. I'm gonna copy what you send me into.
Yeah, the README is optional. Important are these dot files. So I hope you have dot files visible in your Finder.
Why doesn't it work? I do have dot file for this. So do you want me to?
There's a git ignore, git attributes. There should be a change log md composer JSON PHP unit XML dist.
No, I thought I had it enabled. Why do I not have it? Where do I enable dot files?
Command Shift and dot.
Command Shift and dot. I should have it enabled because I see other ones. The folder you send me, what I see is okay. I'm just going to hold on.
There's nothing secret in, so you can share it.
So this is what I've got, and this is what you sent me, right? So I got
so go into this archive. Open the archive directory.
It is open. This is all I have. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and then Command Shift and dot.
I did. Command Shift and dot. It's not doing anything.
Is it something else for different keyboard layouts?
No, but I'm sure I had it enabled because I can see other.
You can also.
Other people.
Yeah.
So let me just Google it. Hold on. Let me all have this open. What do people say? People have any recommendations? No, not yet.
Show hidden files in Finder. And possibly your language or keyboard layout, as it seems to be different.
Yeah, but I've done it. It says Command Shift and period. Command Shift.
Catherine, you are right. Thanks. I haven't zipped the file, so.
There you go. You want to send it again, or let me just copy what you did send me. Hold on.
Yeah. We are really prepared.
But this is the way to do it. I mean, so this is the README you sent me.
Yeah, so I will only send you the dot files now.
That's fine. Are you going to send it on Discord?
Yes.
Okay.
So git attributes, git ignore. Thanks, Catherine, for pointing out. Was my bad.
Right. Show and Finder. Okay, I got them now. If I just...
Yeah, I think Discord trimmed the leading dot, so you have to rename them afterwards.
Yeah, I will.
Moving dot files from one PC to another is really a pain.
How do you refactor? So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Get ignore as well. Before I do so when I'm refactoring, I would assume that it will offer the option to rename the file straight away, but it doesn't.
I think it was so some time ago. But possibly they've moved it into a special setting or something like that.
Okay, then I'm just going to take, move this one here.
Yeah, and composer JSON and changelog.
Yeah.
The others aren't important, or you already have them.
Well, I've just copied over what was in your README, and the other one was the license, but the license has been already
also
created,
cool.
so that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what?
Exactly. So let's go through the files from top to bottom. Git attributes is a Git file. It tells tools like Composer and I think also npm, which files from the version control systems they should ignore if they export it for their dist. So the distribution part. And this way you can tell packages composer to ignore the git ignore file, PHP unit tests, GitHub directory, and so they don't end in your user's vendor directory.
Okay.
As for example, the test directory can lead to some not namespace problems, but auto-completion will be bloated if all the tests are available in PHP Storm.
Okay.
So that's why we ignore some for export. Second is git ignore, I think, or hope that most know it.
Yeah.
We will ignore the vendor directory as it contains only the composer dependencies. The composer log file for packages, it's not important to contain it. Possibly different for your app development, where you want to have the log file included. And we ignore the phpunit.xml. Don't get confused. We have an phpunit.xml.dist file.
Yeah.
This is handy in PHP unit. You can include this XML dist, so it's a distributed one. And every developer can have its own phpunit.xml file for his own local configuration he wants to have. So,
well,
change log is what it says, the change log.
Yeah.
It's only a markdown file. We have to replace this package minus name on the first sentence with Laravel minus tweet minus component.
Okay. Is there a way? Isn't there a way, or was it on the skeleton that you can run a script to replace all those, like a package name or like with the actual name?
If you use a real skeleton, it will have this functionality included. Yeah. Okay. So the Sparty skeleton has it. Beyond Code package generator has it.
At what point do you introduce the namespace Larabelles / and then the package name? Do we just use the package name in this place, or do we already namespace it with Larabelles?
In changelog, I only use the package name. Yeah, you could even trim out the package name as the changelog is directly related to your package. Okay. You don't have one changelog for all your Larabelles packages, but one per package.
Okay.
So
that's done. This is our composer JSON that we don't have to. Do we have to do anything here?
Yeah, we have, but it's a bit more. There were some questions or comments on YouTube.
Yeah.
From Has. I hope I spelled it correctly. The .idea should be included in your global get ignore file, like Adrian said, as it's your local environment configuration, and you don't want to maintain all IDE-related exclude things as a package maintainer. So if an VS Code developer comes on, they want to exclude whatever VS Code has, and so .editor config, right, you can include it. I've dropped it from here as it's really optional and has nearly no effect on most ends, as we want to enforce code styles with our continuous integration. And
okay, you know what, I just realized that because I copied those files from you, how, if somebody is starting from scratch, how would they do those files? They do composer init, or
you can run composer init to get the composer JSON. It will ask you some questions and come up with a bit less than what we have here.
Okay.
For example, the level specific ones are for sure missing, like this extra level providers you have on the bottom screen. Yeah. And it also misses the autoload parts, for example, the scripts to run PHP unit. I can really recommend you to copy it from a package you trust, like let's name it a Sparsiphone, for example. This is the same for all these files, like git execute, changelog, git ignore, or use the skeleton, for example, for these files. I don't know any source where you can find these files in the documentation way. So there isn't a Laravel documentation section on the official docs, so far I know, or at least not one that includes all these files you should have.
Yeah.
It's really one thing you have to copy and paste or really get into it and do it yourself, which isn't this cool.
Okay. So what do we have to change in this one? Because I assume we're going to change this bit and then this bit, I suppose. Or
exactly.
tell me.
There are a bit more. It starts on the second line with the name.
Oh, okay.
This is where we know it's the first or the total second or the first one that contains real value. Exactly. So vendor, exactly. This is your vendor name, so your most times your username, or if you have a group like Larabelles, Sparsia, Atomic, or whatever, it will be the company group name. And second one is the most time repository name, but you could customize it.
Okay.
Then third line is the type of your of this repository package. It's library, as there are sometimes types defined in the composer schema, but it's library for all packages.
Okay.
Description is short description text. We can do it later. Keywords are like some search keywords where we can.
I'll do it later again. Yeah.
Define some keywords we want to be found.
On packages, right? This is those keywords are the ones that okay.
They are like tags. Homepage is your GitHub repository in most cases. If you don't have a real dedicated website for this project, like a pest website, for example. So you can copy the URL.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go and copy it. You keep describing it. I'm just gonna go and copy it over.
Next one is a license. This should correspond to your license file you have included in your package. So if you shouldn't use MIT, you have to customize this also. For private packages, there's also a proprietary option you can enter. Then authors. In this case, I've included the full block. These are the 4 attributes available for authors. You don't have to use all of them.
Okay, I was going to ask that. So I'll just say Larabelles here, right? Because,
for example, but you can also really contain the real persons that have created this.
Well, can you have
it's
two
not
of them
related
then?
to the license.
Okay, can you have two?
It's authors. You can have two. So it's an array of objects.
Oh, it's an array. Okay.
So authors is no.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean two arrays? I get it. Yeah, I get it. So authors are one
is
array.
An array of objects. So line 9 till 14.
Yeah.
Could be cloned.
Okay, so let's have you and then me.
Has asked if you can, but I think you already have increased font size.
Even more? Okay, let me do it even more.
I don't know. It was 4 minutes ago, so.
Oh, let me go 20.
Yeah, just be sure.
Is it? Are you people happy? Okay. Homepage. And role developer. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Anything in the requirement?
So role is there isn't an enum or something, so you can type in whatever you want. Typically, it's left out or it's developer. But if you have like a big project where you have a designer, for example, that created some cool images or whatever, you can also say role designer. So someone checking out the repository knows, if I have questions regarding art, for example, I have to contact
this person.
Kaneko, for example, and not Nunu.
Has, so just has. I should. Oh, he wants to move closer to the screen. Is it still not big enough? Can go even more if you want.
He's watching on the big TV.
He said
he's
watching on the big TV. Oh, come on, Has. But this is just you move closer to the TV now. Right. Next, anything to do with it? Require.
Require. This is super basic for a Laravel package. I think we can stick with PHP 7.4 and 8 support. We don't have to use PHP 8 only. Illuminate support is the one and only real dependency for every Laravel project, as this contains the service provider, for example.
Okay. So this is the one that is like necessary for every Laravel package.
Yeah. We could think if we also want to support Laravel 7, I think we should go with it till it leads to problems. So that's always my way to go. So
then you add Laravel 7 in here, or what? How do you add? So do you?
It's how is it named? So not as a dedicated dependency, but as a new version in the Illuminate support version constraint, like with the PHP above. So in this string where it's
get it.
This rooftop. And
yep, got it.
So you can enter.
Rooftop. I think I don't even know what this is. Why is it on my keyboard?
No, now you have opened a new string.
Oh yeah. I'll get it right. Hold on. So we supporting
copy
7.
If you 7.0.
0 or do we do star?
0.
Why 0?
And 2 pipes here. With Laravel 6, I think. Yeah, it was 6. Until Laravel 6, it was some minor versions that were upgraded every half a year with breaking changes. And this isn't semantic versioning. And with Laravel 6, Taylor said we want to stick to semantic versioning. And I think with the new upcoming Laravel 9, he has announced that they want to still stick to semantic versioning, so far I understand it, but don't stick to this half-year breaking changes cycle. So it could be that Laravel 10 doesn't appear in early 2022, but like end 2022 or even 2023, for example.
Okay.
And then we have the require dev dependencies. So these are only for our local development. The second one is PHP unit, and there was a configuration change in PHP unit 9.3, so we require 9.3 to don't have to support 2 different configurations. And the Orchestra test bench is a package that includes all the Laravel stuff in PHP unit. So we have a real Laravel application running, but we don't have to care about it in our own package. But into this version constraint for Orchestra test bench, you also have to add version 5 support, as this is the corresponding version of Orchestra test bench for the Laravel 7.
Like this? And also, Adrian is saying that he's only using the 1 pipe instead of 2. He's never seen 2. So does it mean this? Either doing 1 or 2, it's both the same? 1
pipe is valid, but 2 pipes are normalized. And I'm a fan of, I'm a huge fan of normalized composer JSON. There's a tool, I forgot who wrote it, which adds a composer normalize command that also sorts all the keys, like config, extra, autoload, and so on. So they always have the same order in your composer JSON.
Okay, cool. Next, config. Do we do anything? What's this about?
That's something I've said right now, sorts of packages. So they are in alphabetical order in the 2 require blocks.
Okay, cool.
And the extra block extra is a composer key for extra informations that don't belong to the composer schema.
Yeah.
And Laravel uses it to automatically detect package service providers. So here we have to change the namespace for our service provider.
Just this bit?
No, also the whole stuff. So the first one will be your vendor.
Yeah.
The second one is the name of the package in, I think it's title case, but most time I left out the Laravel part.
Oh, so just tweet component, you think?
Yes, this is the way I am doing it.
Okay.
In the end, you are totally free. It's your namespace, do whatever you want. You can also say it's Larabelles Fuba, for example. It only has to be unique and shouldn't conflict with other packages. So if you wouldn't use Larabelles and say, hey, let's name it the first bit Sparsy, for example, you will probably get into problems. And then it's the second part of the namespace. Well? Yeah. So this is how I name names service providers. I take the second part of the namespace and append service provider.
Okay. Well, second part of the namespace. So you mean this, the whole thing?
No, this is totally right now.
Okay, cool. Autoload.
And autoload will be Larabelles / tweet component.
Yeah, I'm getting the idea now.
Important here is that you have to append these two leading backslashes.
Yeah.
As it's a namespace and not a full qualified class name.
Okay.
And same for the autoload dev.
So what would happen if I don't have the leading backslashes? Is it going to throw an error, or is it just not going to do something?
I think Composer will throw an error if you run Composer update.
Okay.
But it will definitely not find your classes.
Okay. So it will be obvious that something's wrong. Okay.
Yeah. So now with the autoload, we've defined two directories we have to create. It's the source and tests directory.
Yeah. There you go.
With an S, tests in plural.
Oh, tests. Oh, sorry. Well, why tests when it says test here? Does it not have to?
So this is a script name. You can define, like shortcuts in Composer. So you can run Composer test, which will run vendor bin PHP unit behind the scenes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So this is super useful for some more complex commands.
Yeah, very similar to npm file. I think package.jsm, and you define scripts there as well. I just never thought of checking how to do it in Composer file as well.
Yeah,
cool.
And you can even provide an array. So you can run multiple commands with one Composer shortcut.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so this is this file. I think so. We've gone through this. What do we do next?
Next one will be creating the service provider we defined in the extra. So you can copy this service provider name, so tweet component service provider. So the last part.
Yeah.
And
where do we create it? Is it going to be in the root folder, or is it going to be in the source?
No, it will be in the source directory. All the package logic we want to publish will be in the source.
Okay. Ooh.
Exactly.
There you go.
So now I have to open one of my service providers on my second screen. So exactly. So PHP opening tag, and second one or first one will be the namespace.
So can you first tell me, what is the point of service provider? Why are we doing this? What is it about?
Service providers are the entry point for every package. And you possibly also know some from your real Laravel application. Every Laravel application comes with, I think, 5 service providers. So app, route, broadcast, events, and so on. and it's an entry point to run logic while your application boots. So there are two main methods in every service provider. It's the boot method and the register method.
Okay. Can I just stop you with the namespace? So is it the namespace or is it, which one is it? Is it the whole thing? Where was it?
It's a Laravel / tweet component.
So it's this whole thing. Is it going to be? Yeah. Okay.
One more. Yeah. It's a backslash.
Is it real? I never noticed in the. Oh, I need to pay more attention.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. So now class.
Public.
Yeah, so PHP Storm autocomplete got really fucked up during the last update. So please, JetBrains, fix it.
They said there was one call. Was the So the class will be. What is it going to be?
Just start to type tweet, and PHP Storm will provide it. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So next one will be our service provider has to extend in class, so it will be class tweet component service provider extends service provider. And start to type it.
No.
No, we haven't run composer update or install.
Okay, hold on. If we do it now with this incomplete, is it gonna complain or
no? Everything fine.
Okay, let me bring back my. So composer. Update,
install, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh, you should run a composer self update.
I will later. I will. Tomorrow, it's like with the Mac updates. Oh, I'm going to update you to, Big Sur tomorrow, eventually.
One question by Has, also already answered by Hans. Yes, it doesn't have to be SRC or source. You can name it whatever you want, but source is like the standard naming, the not really defined common standard. So if you use something else, some other people will have problems to get into your package.
Okay. You said so. This should extend service provider, right? It's still not coming up as a.
It's indexing, so.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Oh yeah, forgot. It will happen. Okay, we'll catch up eventually. So what do we do in this class? So you said there are two methods. There was the boot and register, right?
Yeah. Something for Catherine. You are totally right for applications. But for packages, install and update should result to the same runnable code, as you don't provide the composer log file, and every user of your package will install the package with only your version constraints. So if there's a version included in your constraints that doesn't work with your package, you should reduce your possible version set via the constraints. There's no way you can provide the composer log file for users. So as a developer, it's totally okay, or a package developer, it's totally fine to always run composer update and not install. As this way you can always test with the latest versions and see if there's something breaking, as some other developer did crazy stuff in his own package.
Cool. Thank you for, keeping an eye on the questions, because I'm sitting here, I don't know what to do, and you keep an eye on the questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do we do now?
Boot register, exactly. You should move the register method up, as this is the one that's called first. And
okay.
I always move it up because the naming of these two methods could lead to the opposite, as boot is the naming for we want to boot something.
Yeah.
But in this context, it's the second method. You will run the register for all service providers, and after this, it will run the boot method for all service providers.
Yeah.
So this is a real difference between these two methods. Your register method should only register new classes to, for example, your dependency container.
Okay.
And the boot method can do things with these classes. So, for example, if you want to to use the config values, for example, with your classes and do things like this, this should have its boot method. But we will get to this in a few seconds. So for now, this is totally fine. One thing for the totally type-safe developers like me, I always add the return type of void to both methods, as both methods shouldn't return anything.
Do I? No. Do I just leave it like that? Why is it complaining? Oh, it's
your language
PHP 7
only. Yeah. You can.
Okay. Do I need to
switch it? No. Go to the void and on the hover thing, switch to PHP 7.0. Possibly you have to do it again with 7.1. Yeah, PHP Storm is sometimes a bit silly.
Okay, there you go.
Now it's cool.
Now it's cool.
So, exactly. Now we have the service provider. And because we don't have any classes until now, we don't do anything in the service provider.
Yeah.
Now.
So all these things, if you use the skeleton, all these things would come prepared for you, or I think we should also at some point, maybe at the end, do the same thing what we are doing now from scratch, and then do it using a skeleton, just to see all the things that we don't have to do if we use a skeleton.
It's really a lot less work.
Yeah, and even looking at the service provider, I use it all the time in Laravel, but I never look at it like that, because you don't write them. You just add stuff to them. And like having it write to myself, I'm kind of suddenly thinking, normally I would just go and see, in my other projects, seeing how it's done. And now that I don't have that, it's a different kind of experience doing it from scratch when you.
Yeah. That's also something for your Laravel applications. You aren't limited to these 5 default service providers. You can always add another one in your own Laravel application. So if you think that what you want to do in the service provider doesn't really match one of the already present.
Yeah.
And personally, I always try to keep the app service provider nearly empty. Sometimes I also delete it or unregister it because app service provider is, for the stuff that is really random. But for most things, I try to create new service providers that name what they will do, like create new macros or mix-ins, do some stuff with Carbon or whatever you want to do in service providers.
Okay. What do we do next?
So, I think we should set up a PHP unit environment.
Okay. Was it this one?
Yeah. So this is a PHP unit XML. There's a command in PHP unit. So if you have installed it with Composer, you can run PHP unit init, I think it is. This will ask you also some questions and create this PHP unit XML. I think it will create a PHP unit XML, not the dist one, but you can rename it afterwards. Or you copy it from any package.
Does it have to have the dist extension?
It has to have if you have excluded the PHP unit XML, so without the dist in your gitignore file.
Okay.
Which we have done.
Okay. Yeah.
So just a quick run through all these config things in the PHP unit opening tag are config things. You can leave like is.
Yeah.
Then you have the test suites. As a package developer, we normally have only one. If you have a really large package with feature tests, unit tests, and all the stuff, you can also add a second test suite, for example.
And this is because of this being called tests. That's why our tests directory has to be called tests. These two have to be the same. So it could be called
and also
anything
in
else.
The Composer in your Composer JSON in the autoload dev, we also have the test directory.
Oh yes, I can see it.
For the Laravel Laravel's
if we want
tweet
to
component tests.
If we want to change it, we have to change it in these three places. Or like these three places need to be the same. Okay, cool.
Exactly. And the coverage one will be important if you want to have code coverage. It just says that for coverage, it should include all PHP files in the source directory. If you have a more complex file structure, you can also add more directories, suffix filters, whatever. But this is the default PHP unit config, and I think I haven't changed it in any package. So you get pretty far with it.
Okay, so we're not doing anything in here.
No. First thing we have to do is create a test case PHP file in the tests directory. So test as a singular, and case and the tests directory is already present.
I'm making a file.
New file. Yeah. Upper T and upper C. Case.php. Yeah. So again, open PHP tag.
Okay.
Namespace, Larabelles, tweet component. It should.
Still doesn't come up.
It doesn't.
Oh, that was
it. It was.
Yeah. There you go.
And another backslash and tests.
Ooh, I need to get rid of that hot corner thing.
You can disable some in your settings. Tests. Upper T.
Yeah.
One note: if you should have a tests directory in your source folder, you get into trouble here. So if you do any package related to tests, or you want to provide something in a tests sub namespace, or whatever reason you have to create a tests directory in your source, you should switch to another namespace for your tests. One way, for example, would be Laravel's tweet component, and without the second backslash, just tweet component tests, for example. So
I get it.
Put it into one namespace under Larabelles.
As Adrian is asking, sorry, could you create a new class instead of a new file? I don't know. Could I? Should I?
You can. I always don't do it, as it's a lot more typing for me in this create a new class and create a new PHP file, and I always have another package open in a second PHP Storm instance where I can copy paste. So for the moment, it could be a bit less typing if we create a new class.
Yeah. Because then it's Command N for new, and then just D for directory, F for file. Yeah. I know class is down. Where is this? Do I just say C? PHP class. Yeah. Anyway, let's stick with what we have, and next time.
The best thing is what you know best. So it will be an abstract class.
Oh, is it? Again, is it always this case? Oh, somebody's coming upstairs. This is the thing with having kids in the house. You never know if they're going to come. Abstract. This abstract class. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an abstract class, but it makes clear that this class isn't used directly. And your abstract class test case extends, again, a class. Test case. And no.
Yeah, sorry. Which one?
And
PHP
the orchestra test. No, the orchestra test bench one.
So what is the difference between PHP unit framework and the orchestra test bench?
The PHP unit framework is the super default one you will use in your Laravel applications, for example. So orchestra test bench extends this PHP unit framework test case and puts in all the stuff you need for a Laravel test environment. So it boots a real Laravel application, for example. It provides an app property and some special methods you can use to inject some Laravel logic. No, this will lead to problems.
Why?
Because your defined class has the same name as the class you extend. I always use aliases, so use orchestra test bench test case as orchestra test case.
as like that.
Yeah. And now.
Okay.
Exactly.
Good. Oh,
so the way I'm doing, you can also extend and the full qualified class name.
Yeah, I don't like them in
So
when you use them in classes. So that's why I always use the use statement, because otherwise it gets it looks messy to me.
So let me just check the comments. PHP Storm ability create test, PHP unit test bench. You can have just some things how you can improve your PHP Storm skills.
Yeah, I know it exists. That's true. And sometimes I try to, when I'm creating other tests, like future tests, a few times I try to use the PHP Storm functionality. And then, yeah, I know it's there, but let's do it the slow way now. But it's true that if I do like a create, if we do command new, and then we've got all these, so we could have created a file class, and there's PHP test and unit tests and all these. So yeah, it's possible.
But for example, if you create a PHP unit test from this dropdown, you have to replace the extended class.
You do, right?
This will create a plain PHP unit test case.
Yeah, a few times I have just said, okay, and without really reading through it, and it wasn't very helpful. So yeah.
So now a method get package providers. Just type get package provider. No,
just without that. What?
PHP Storm is really great as it's a method you defined, the lowest one, exactly.
Yeah.
And PHP Storm will do all this protected functional stuff. Return type array. So you return an array, and you can also add the type hint and the method signature.
Oh, you mean up there? You mean up here? Okay.
Both is right.
Yeah.
And in the array, no, it was correct.
Yeah.
And we will return the full qualified class name of our package service provider. So tweet component service provider.
Yeah.
Exactly. .class or how's it? Period or no? Cullen is the name of these double dots.
Oh.
Or is
what do you mean? I've already got the class.
You have the class name, and then what you've done is right, but these two double dot things are named Cullen, or
you're asking the non-native speaker. Yeah, colon, double colon, I think.
Yeah.
People, correct us if you are. There's two non-native English speakers speaking, so is it colon? Yeah, Catherine's saying that it saves all the typing. The thing with it's about opinions and compromise. Yes, Catherine, you're right. And I think different people will have different ways, and we are doing it the slow way currently, because at least I'll get the chance to ask all the questions. But you're right. Like next time, if I do it by myself, I'm not going to be doing all the typing. It's just right now I'm using Tom to ask all the questions I may have, or I didn't even know I had. But if I did it by myself, I wouldn't do it this way. Let's just put it this way. I would probably use a skeleton.
Thanks, Catherine, for double colon. Thanks.
It's a double colon. Thank you.
Yeah. So
what else?
So this is the one really required method for a basic test case for a package. It tells the orchestra test case which service providers it has to boot. Yeah. So this method is similar to what you are doing in your config app PHP in a real Laravel application. And what Laravel automatically does with package detection. If you run composer update. And exactly. So this is what we have to do here. Next one, I think we should create our component.
Okay. So do we then create a new directory, or do we do it all in the root?
I would create a new directory. I always try to stick as close as possible to the default Laravel directory structure in a Laravel application.
So this would be resources now, or just do straight to component?
No, this one will be the class name, the component class. So it's a part that lies in your Laravel app directory by default. So it's view as views.
Views. Oh yeah, views.
I think.
And then components.
Let me check my Nginx package, which Holger has.
It's one of these things that you don't kind of like, you use it every day, all the time, but yeah. I think it's views. Right. It might be, no, I think that's views components.
I think it's singular. Could it be? I will check in Laravel application.
Yeah.
My own website should have. And my computer gets slower with 3 open. It's singular, view.
Okay.
Yeah, Adrian, you're totally right. It's Doppelpunkt. Or even Doppelpunkt. So German is cool.
Yeah.
And
what have I just hold on? What have I tried to do? I just wanted to read. No, what
you've done.
I haven't done it yet. I just wanted to rename the views to view, and it's
with an upper V. So
does it have to be?
Yeah, this is autoload piece R4 standard. So your directory structure has to exactly match your class, your namespaces.
I'm gonna do.
Just delete it and create new.
Yeah. View. And component with capital C again.
Exactly.
And 1 C on components. Yeah. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Catherine. Don't go away. Please stay. Okay, now.
I think Catherine should took my part.
No, it's cool.
So
like we are learning as a community. We are all, well, I am learning and you are all teaching me.
Yeah. So next, the PHP class file. So pick whatever way you want to create it.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it the class, PHP class.
Yeah.
And let's see what
PHP Storm can do.
Yeah.
So name will be tweet, I think. So the component name is tweet.
Yeah.
And namespace will be the Larabelles tweet component.
Do I have to always do the back?
Tweet component is suggested. Now you have to add a /view. This isn't auto-completed, and this is the part I mean, Adrian, with a lot more typing here, or it's the same timing I would have to do in the normal editor. And it's also, again, /components.
Oh, okay. And do I do the semicolon at the end or just no?
I think you can leave it there.
Okay.
So file name tweet, directories, true, template class, file extension. Yeah, should all be all things fine. I think we could use these lower extents and implements, but I think we are faster if we are doing it here. So
I don't see it being much faster using that rather than just typing it. Because here, at least if I use the namespacing, it would autocomplete while using that functionality.
It's faster if you already have this namespace. PHP Storm can't recommend namespaces that don't exist. So if you would create a second component now, it would be faster, as you could type in components into namespace, and PHP Storm would list the Larabelles tweet component view components namespace. So it's class tweet, and it will extend the component class and component from the Illuminate view.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
See, could you add this to, as we were creating it via the PHP Storm functionality, could you then add the extends part, or you can't do it there? I don't think.
I think you can do it. Just right click, create new PHP class. And in the lower part, parent classes, extends and implements.
Oh, okay. That's something to do next time.
So this is the first thing. We use a new Illuminate namespace. Until now, we only have used the Illuminate support in the service provider. Now we use the Illuminate view namespace. So we have to go to the composer.js file and up to require. The real one, not the dev one.
Got it,
and clone the Illuminate support line and replace support with view.
Okay.
So yeah, so version constraint will be exactly the same.
And then we need to...
we only add the view. The reason why you already have this installed is because of Oxostar Test Bench, which installs a whole Laravel application.
Yeah.
And this can be tricky because you have access to every Illuminate class, but you haven't required it in your composer requirements.
Oh, so
if you
for you to use it, you still have to require it.
And if you publish it and someone installs it locally, they could possibly don't have it installed. With Illuminate dependencies, it's most times not a problem because all Illuminate dependencies are part of the normal Laravel application. But
before I do the composer update, so I think, was it Catherine who was saying that you should do composer install, because if you do composer update, it's going to update all the dependencies, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So but for us, it doesn't matter. So whether I do update or install, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. I think I've answered it the moment Catherine asked us.
Yeah.
For real application, it's totally right that you should use install, not update. For package development, I think it's even possibly recommended to use update to always have the latest dependencies. So Adrian wrote some things, PHP Storm knows namespaces, set up folder structure. Yeah, could be that PHP Storm doesn't recommend the namespaces from directory structure because we haven't set up the PHP Storm project properly.
Yeah.
But that's something for sometimes else.
Yeah. So why is it complaining? Class must be declared abstract or implement method. So do we have to implement method render?
Exactly.
Do we? So it has to be protected again, or just the public function?
Just type render and PHP Storm will tell you. But as it's, exactly.
Okay.
And I would add the return type hint of view, in this case, the contract. So view, Illuminate contracts view, exactly.
Why?
And these contracts are interfaces in Laravel. So all interfaces are named contracts in Laravel. And the view contract is the interface for all views. And the render method has to, I think it has to return.
Okay.
Let's check it. It has to return an instance of a view or a string. And because we want to use a Blade view for some Blade niceness, we will return a view instance, not a string. So string is helpful if you have really small components and want to use here docs, for example, or now docs, or really just string concatenation.
Well,
in this case, you could use string.
Yeah. Okay. And Catherine said, if you click on the other line, it offers you what you can do with it. Now it's the error's gone, but Okay. So, what do we do now?
So now it will return view, so the view global function. So return and lower view. How you do it in a real Laravel application controller, for example. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. View.
And,
So what are we returning?
We will. We will use I think it's slug case of the second namespace part. So tweet component, lowercase tweet minus component. And now the double colon I've learned.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. And let's name it tweet.
What,
to
like
explain
this? I've never seen this before. Explain this to me, because I don't think I've ever seen using the being view used this way.
I will. Blade offers the possibility to namespace views. In your default Laravel application, you won't do it because you have all your views inside of your resources views directory.
Yeah.
but packages can prevent conflicts with other packages and local views this way. So imagine you wouldn't have this tweet component namespace before. Just name a tweet, and another package, for example, would also publish a tweet view, or the local developer wants to have a tweet view because of whatever reason. In this case, you would get into trouble. So that's
I thought by us using all the namespacing, we should avoid this anyway. So what does it matter whether the view is called just tweet?
The view Blade file doesn't know namespaces like PHP.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
makes sense.
That's why we introduce this, let's name it fake namespace, sets the tweet component before this double colon. And I think internally Blade names them hints, but most people name some namespace. Every package should use its own namespace. In this case, it's relatively prevented that we get into conflicts. If you want to go really safe, you could say Larabelles minus tweet minus component.
No, I think this is fine.
But I think there won't be another package tweet component and a user that installs both packages in his application. If so, blame him.
We came up with it first, so don't try to, since this is going to take us a while. So if somebody else says, like, I'm just going to do it now because this is taking so long, so don't. Because this is our namespace. Just saying, it's official now. It's on YouTube. This is our namespace.
Exactly. That's everything we do right now in this component. We will do some more things later. Now create a directory in the package root. So on the same levels, like source, tests, vendor. And name it resources. Lower R. Sorry.
Oh, come on. Sometimes it's capitals, lower.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not you. It's not. I should know. I work with Laravel every day. I should know, but it's why?
Deleted, created new.
It's just
I'm changing.
I'm changing one letter.
I think it's one checkbox you have to uncheck if you rename it. So PHP Storm doesn't try to be more intelligent than you. Exactly. So now we will recreate this default Laravel application directory structure. So it will be resources, subdirectory views, this time plural,
and it's lowercase
components.
Exactly, right?
And lowercase components.
Components, yeah. Got it.
And there we will create this tweet.blade.php file.
Yay, we're getting there.
Perfect. So no, you can delete this opening PHP. Now just add hello, for example. Just add some text, hello, tweet, whatever you want.
There you go.
So just we have something to test.
Now
we have to tell Laravel in our package service provider that we have views for this package, and we also have this tweet component namespace, so opens the service provider. And in the it will all happen in the boot method.
So what are we going to do with the register then? Nothing yet?
We will call load views from as a method on sys, so $sys.
What? Say again?
Inside of the boot method.
So what do I do? Sorry.
$sys.
The what?
Dollar sys variable.
Oh, I get it.
Dollar. Sorry.
I'm thinking what?
It's always hard to do these step-by-step things only on a verbal basis.
I bet you I'm regretting this now.
So method name is load views from. So load views, and there it is Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first argument, it has two. The first one is the dir constant, so __ dir.
Yeah.
There it is. Dot and quotes for string concatenation.
What these ones or the normal ones?
It's the normal ones.
Normal ones, yeah.
So ones you've tried first is from JavaScript.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then slash dot another slash, and then resources views. Yeah. And if PHP Storm can auto suggest, you know that it's the right one.
Yeah.
And this is the absolute path to your directory with all the blade views. And second argument is the namespace. So a simple string, and you will name it a tweet component.
Doesn't matter if it's capital, yeah.
It should be the exact same you've used before this double colon in the component class in the render method.
Oh, is it in the, where was it? To this one, it has to be the same as this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So now we've told Laravel that we have our own package views in this directory and want to use the tweet component namespace for them to prevent conflicts. And now line breaks too after this method call.
What do you mean?
2 line breaks. Inside the boot method.
Oh, inside.
We won't do anything outside now.
Yeah.
And an if with the condition sys property app, so $sys property app. No, app, as a property.
Get it.
This is what I mean. No, as a property, not a method.
Oh, God.
I really haven't found a good way to do.
Okay, what do you mean by property? What do I try?
App, just app, lowercase app. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I say property because it's a property of the current class.
Yeah.
And on this app, you will call now a method. So again, this dash and greater than sign. No, inside the condition.
What?
So in the condition of your first if, this app, and now a method call on app. Yeah. No. And the method name is running in console.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could know this method if you have done some cool things in your Laravel application or advanced things. Don't want to judge.
No, I don't think I've seen this one before.
It just has some cool things to detect if your current runtime is in console environment or not. So this, what you do inside this if block will just run if you call it via artisan.
Yeah, got it.
It won't happen if you use it via your Nginx, Apache, whatever.
Okay.
And inside this one, we want to do a call. The method publishes on sys, so $sys, and the method publishes.
Publishes,
this one, yeah. And first argument is an array.
Yeah.
Common standard is line break now, so a multi-line array.
Yeah.
And again, we use the dir constant, so __ dir.
Yeah.
So dot quotes and slash dot. Again, it's the same path
to it's the one as above. Okay.
Yeah, this one.
Resources views. Okay.
Exactly. And this is the key. Now you have to do this equal exactly for the value. And the value is the global function resource path.
Yeah.
And then type in views as a string, and all lowercase. Views /vendor / and now copies the namespace of you've used in the first line, so tweet minus component. So view namespace, sorry. So it's tweet minus component string. Or you can type it.
Yeah.
Do
you know what? I can understand why people use skeletons, because this is just like
so there's a lot of typing, and it's always the same. It follows a really good standard.
Yeah. So like once you do it, like the packages, they all follow the same thing. So once you do it, you just copy paste and change the names.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing, and I've created nearly 30 packages this way, so it works.
Yeah.
And I think it's also the same that Batje does with her own skeleton. Yeah. And
there's a question from Catherine. Will that load views from work correctly, since the component class says tweet component : tweet?
Catherine, I had it in mind. I wanted to do it afterwards, but you are totally correct. We've done a mistake in our component class. Let's fix it in a minute. So let's finish this one.
Yeah.
And the second argument of the publishers, so after the array, will be a string, and it's named views. Yeah.
So what did you just hear?
Yeah. I think you know this artisan vendor colon publish command.
Yeah. Yes, I know that one. So is this what publishes the?
Exactly. This is the way service provider can tell Laravel which assets they want to publish. And the second argument we used here, the views, is a group or tag. So one package can publish several things, like a comment is views, translations, config, migrations, stuff like this.
Yeah.
And
again, I've used it many times, but I never looked into how it works. So this is really this is important or interesting and important, not just for package development, but for how Laravel works in general, which is great.
And with this views, the user can pick only the views, for example. So if he want to customize the views used by this package, he can say artisan vendor publish the namespace or the full qualified namespace of the package service provider as an option, and add -- group equal views, I think it is, to publish only the views, and not the config, translations, whatever we have also as resources.
Yeah, cool.
So now we have configured the views, and the third thing we have to do here, I will send you on Discord, because it's a lot of typing, and I think we will be a lot faster this way.
Yeah. And this is still inside the boot method, right?
Exactly.
But outside the if statement.
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah.
It's outside the if statement, yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can see, it's one of my packages, so a Blade compiler, exactly.
Yeah.
And now imjigs will be replaced with our tweet class. So this is exactly the PHP class of our component we want to use.
So this one.
And the second one is a alias, so it will be tweet.
Okay, so what are we doing here? What does?
We register as the Blade component, so it's usable with this x minus tweet Blade HTML tag thing.
Okay.
They introduced in Laravel 7.
Yeah.
You could use the Blade facade _ component, but I've seen this call after resolving in the Blade UI kit package by Dries, and because Dries does this and works at Laravel, I think he knows what he does, and I think this has a reason.
Okay.
So I've just copied it. I haven't found something that breaks if you do it the short way, but I think it's like the safer way, also more correct way to do this, to register the component after the Blade compiler is resolved. Okay. So if Laravel methods are really readable. So what we are doing here is we call this callback function, this function void, and which we register the component after the Blade compiler service is resolved in the dependency injection container.
Okay.
Why not load view component as? Is there a method load view component as, Adrian? I haven't used it.
He means instead of this one, or instead of what?
No, I think he means instead of the first line in the boot method. Could be that there is a shorthand method that does all the cool stuff for us.
Let me turn more light on. It's getting dark in here, so let me just keep turning more light on.
Oh yeah, this method does exactly what we have done ourselves here.
Is it shorter, or is it just a different way to do stuff?
It's shorter for you. Behind the scenes, it does exactly the same. Okay. So it's kind of do whatever you like. So there is a load view components as method on $sys. You have to use it instead of the call after resolving method. And it does exactly the same we have done here on these 3 lines 26 till 28.
Yeah.
So let's say let's keep it. The other one is a shorthand. It's a cool thing, but I think
that's what Adrian
it's also
said.
Great too.
Yeah, he said it's the way you don't have to know how it works. Yeah, that's my way.
Yeah, exactly.
It works. That's all I need to know. Okay.
Or you could add it as a comment in the line above, for example. So / to do load view components as.
So I'll just do it up here.
No, in line now 27 or now 25.
Yeah.
Just as a hint that there is something.
Is it the PHP Storm to do? Is it dash to do or to do one word? I think
it's one word.
Oh no, okay. So
one word definitely works.
What was it called?
Load view components as.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now get back to the Blade components class and do what Catherine said. No, it's a class.
Oh, you mean the
source view components, the tweet class with the render method.
Yeah, which one was it?
It is this one you have open. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Catherine is totally right. We have to use after the double colon components.tweet.
Okay.
No, with an S, components.
Oh.
Yeah. Right, because we have registered the resources views as our packages view root directory.
Yeah.
And so we have to keep the relative Blade component view path from there on. So it's components as a directory and tweet as a Blade view name.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, cool.
So this part after this double colon is a default view thing. You also do in your own application controllers and so on.
Yeah.
So now I think we are good to go to our tests and just check if we have done everything correctly.
Okay.
And our Blade components renders.
Yeah.
So
I think once we test it, we should wrap up for today because we are 1.5 hours in.
Yeah.
Wow. And
it's pretty fast.
Okay.
I will send you another method which is copied from Laravel Foundation.
I think we should have done it from the beginning. Instead of me typing everything, you just send it to me and I'll copy paste it. And you just
the big parts. And paste it into the test case. So in your abstract test case, yeah.
Yeah, and where? Into where?
As a new method.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah. So this is copied from I think it's Illuminate Foundation Testing Interacts with Views trait. This adds a Blade method which returns a rendered view from a simple string you put in. So it creates a pseudo view in line 25 temp file, puts in your template string and renders it with the default view thing. I think we have to use some namespaces. So it's a view will be the facade.
Where
view
am
class in the condition 21 or 22.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I need to import it. Come on.
Will be illuminate support view facades view. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, and sends a string in 30.
Why does it complain? Yeah. No, I was just thinking, why is it not?
It's a facade, and facade doc block only contains real public methods Laravel wants you to use. Add location is a method that's part of the underlying service, but it's not a method Laravel promotes to the user.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now we will create a new class in the tests directory.
So are we creating a new class or new test? So it's a test now.
It's a test, yeah.
Okay. So PHP unit test. Oh, Freak. Oh, Frag is here. It's a fun stream. Yes, it is.
Yeah. I think if Frag joined in, and I don't know how the audience or you are, from my side, we could also proceed. So we could do 2 hours or whatever is needed.
2 hours?
I don't know. I don't know how your brain is still working and how's your evening going.
It's still
or what your plans are.
No, I've got no plan. I've got no life. I'm fine. It's just like wondering how much time they have.
So from
I'm saying if somebody just comes behind me, so if somebody comes behind me, it's my kids. So I told them not to, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think we know it from TV since Corona. Everything is.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we do here?
Yeah. I don't know this window, so I can't. What we want to end with is a tweet component test case or test. So tweet component test.php. But it's a fully qualified name, so just say okay, and we will see what we get.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. See, that's the thing. Every time I do it, it just doesn't.
It's nearly perfect. You just have to delete the and delete line 5, the use statement.
Yeah.
So
I really need to look into PHP Storm because I keep coming up with these little things, and I never take the time to look into it properly. I just cancel it and do it manually. But yeah.
Yeah. So the tweet component test, exactly. So now it's a bit up to you how you define single test methods. Do you use the add test annotation or do you use the test prefix? Okay.
No, just the same. But hold on, just looking at the comments. Adrian, right-click the test folder and mark it as test folder. Why? Right-click.
Yeah, it's some PHP thing. Mark directory as. It's very in the lower part of the screen.
Oh yeah. Why? What does it matter?
Test sources root, and the same you can do for the source. Mark directory as sources root, and I think Adrian can explain why this is helpful. I
like the colors.
No, you've marked it as test, or
no, I didn't. Hold on, mark as test.
Yeah, unmark as test sources and mark as sources. The lowest one, the blue one.
Yeah. Why? What's the difference? Sources and resource root. What is the difference between these two?
Adrian, it's your part in the comments.
So you tell us.
You started this, end it. Now proceed with the test case. Public function, I would say it renders. Just keep it simple.
It renders. Yeah.
Yeah. I always add return type hint void because PHP unit test cases don't have to return anything. And now you can use, let's define variable $HTML, for example.
Ooh, wrong place. Yeah.
Equals $sys method blade. So $sys calling blade. Yeah. And semicolon afterwards.
Yeah.
And the first argument for blade is the string we would use in the views file normally. So it's less than, so less the opening, x minus tweet.
Oh, get it. Yeah.
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 And slash closing. So yeah.
Yeah.
And for the easy part, let's call dump $HTML afterwards. So we just see what we have created. And then open your terminal and run composer test or PHP unit or whatever you want to use.
Hmm. 255.
Declaration tests test case array must be compatible. Go to the test case. I've already wondered why, but I thought that we have possibly changed it. The get package providers method has a $app argument. I don't know why PHP Storm hasn't auto-completed it.
Or application?
Yeah, app is. I think internally it's called application, but you can name it app. We won't use it, so let's name it short.
Sorry, I've just ran the test. I should have waited for you, but yay, it's green.
Yeah, perfect. And there we see hello tweet.
Yes.
So until here, we've created this basic setup for a package that publishes a Blade component.
I mean, do you know what?
So I
appreciate the skeletons, package skeletons, because this is just... Wow. Okay.
So now you see why skeletons are really helpful. It's now 1.5 hours we've used to create this part that would do a skeleton in, let's say, 5 minutes.
This is incredible. But you know what? I'm glad. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, you could reduce it to, let's say half an hour, for example.
Yeah, but still.
But it's still a lot of time. It's a lot of copy pasting, and you have to adjust and string replace a lot of things and stuff like this. So
I mean,
using,
it's good to know. Yeah, it's good that we've gone through it, because now I can see how much time I'm going to save when I'm going to use the package skeleton, because this is just, I have a new appreciation for these tools. Thank you, Freak, and thank you, Beyond Code, and everyone else who created package skeletons, because this is, wow.
So I think one thing we could definitely do is copy paste your HTML you've created for this tweet component into the view.
Oh yeah, where did I save it?
Should I send it to you?
You go back to the comments and let me just.
Yes, there are no comments.
You look at the comments. I'll try to remember where I saved it.
Ask anything. If you have questions or recommendations or whatever, type it in the comments. I will read it and answer it soon.
Oh, found it, except I've got few of them. I can't remember which one we settled on. I've got, hold on, mail tweet package. By the way, in the So just to tell people what we're doing, because I prepared the markdown beforehand, so we don't have to spend time doing the HTML and the tailwinds. I have it here, but it has assets as well because we've got the icons there. So do I just take the whole thing and copy it into the what do you want me to do with it then? Because I've got HTML. Yeah, go on.
The assets are the Twitter logo SVG. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So copy the part for your component from the index HTML you've created.
Hold on, let me just copy the whole thing. Let me open it so I can.
Or copy everything, yeah.
Yeah.
We can reduce it later. So let's render a whole HTML page with a component.
Yeah, so this is bad for now. Gonna be fixed.
So, and I would just inline the SVG file as it's the only asset we have.
Is it? Okay. What about two? There was the logo, there was a PNG logo,
yeah,
and then a Twitter
but
logo.
We will retrieve the logo from the Twitter API later.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it will be a Twitter CDN link.
So let me just Twitter, where we are placing it here. But if we are inlining it SVG, don't we have to change?
This is the logo. You have to go
that's
down
the logo.
to the SVG.
Where was the SVG? But still, we are inlining it. Is it not gonna? What do I? Right, because the file as we have it, it has all these XML devs, description devs, and G icon. It's I'm just thinking, do I just
copy the content of the SVG file?
The path.
The whole
the
whole content.
Whole thing. Oh, the whole thing. Okay.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything. Hold on.
There are also ways to make it a bit cleaner, so we could publish the SVG as a second view, for example. There is a package by Kaneko, I think, to handle SVGs in a pretty way, but for the moment, we are good to do this.
So this is all we have, and this is messy now, but okay.
Yeah, it's messy, but it works. And the only thing we have to do is copy the class from the image.
Yeah.
And put it on this opening SVG tag. Somewhere.
Does it end?
Yeah. And delete this image.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
This was too much.
Yeah, I know. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
So.
Okay. Now what?
So now...
because we can actually... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, let's go back to the test. So this is test PHP.
Yeah.
We have to rename it. Copy the class name and rename the file. Otherwise, Composer will complain.
Okay. Test. So we are calling it
tweet component test. Yeah.
There you go.
Now PHP Storm is also happy. And instead of dumping it, I would just use file put contents. We are doing now something that I'm doing always. I misuse the PHP unit tests as a run environment and just test manually. And afterwards, what I see in my manual testing is what I wanted. I think you forgot the first or second argument there.
Where?
The file put contents. First argument has to be the path.
What do you mean the
path to the file? So dir and it's dir, for example. No,
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Yeah. Okay.
Dot and just name it tweet.html. So /tweet. I think you have to add the slash. Yeah. HTML. Comma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
no.
Could it be that you used some double curl braces in the HTML file somewhere?
It is possible because, yeah, the Twitter username. See, these were my notes. So let me just get rid of them. Is it anywhere else?
I think the rest is fine. Yeah. Try it again.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has run. PHP unit just tells us that there is no assertion, so the test is useless. But this is fine for the moment. So now if you go back to there's the tweet HTML. And if you right-click it and say open in browser.
Where is open in?
In the middle. Yeah, bit down, 2 sections down.
Oh, got it.
Whatever browser you use.
Yay, look at that.
Perfect.
Isn't this pretty?
So I think there's some...
There's some, because, I need to look why it's
SVG looks a bit strange.
Yeah.
But in general, it works.
Yeah, and there's a tweet. Cool. Look at
GitHub
that.
is experiencing issues. Yeah, it's because of our stream and all the people are doing packages right now, so GitHub is down.
Oh, well, that's great.
Is it really?
Did we break GitHub? We broke GitHub. Okay.
GitHub.com.
This is good.
Yeah. All services down, all incident. API requests experiencing degraded it. Yeah, we broke GitHub. Okay.
Oh, well,
Frag, stop publishing packages and don't follow our stream. Do it your own way and stop it.
Is Frigg learning from us? I bet he is, It's just... And also there was another uncheck search in comments. Adrian, what do you mean uncheck search in comments? I don't know what you mean.
If you rename files, there's a checkbox search in comments, I think. So
okay, let me just go to rename.
Yeah.
This bit.
And there's a search for references and comments and rename class.
Oh, thank you. Is that all it is?
Oh. If you untick all of them, it will be a simple rename.
Yeah.
And if you tick one or another, it will do whatever it does behind this checkbox.
Thank you. Thank you, Adrian.
Now we render our component. So it's pretty now. But we render a whole HTML. I think we should change it at the last step and add this Twitter API calls if you have the brain capacities now to do so.
I think it's almost 2 hours in. I think we better save it, and when GitHub is back, I'm gonna push it to GitHub.
Perfect.
Because I think, wow, I'm gonna have to rewatch it, which is gonna be fun because I can't listen to myself. So I'm gonna rewatch it mute. I'll just listen to you because this was so much information.
Yeah, just do 2 last things. Open the git ignore file. And add this .phpunit.result.cache. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Is this what this is?
No, it's on the root. PHP unit publishes a result cache since some last versions. I don't know since when. And it contains some caching, so PHP unit can run faster or compare runs. I don't know, but we don't need it in the repository.
Okay. Cool.
And we could also add the tweet HTML for the moment, so it doesn't get pushed.
This one, you mean?
No, it's the tests.
Oh, the test. This one. Okay, so it will be
our dummy file.
Okay.
And now you can push all the files if GitHub is available again.
Let me just find. There you go.
Yeah.
Let me just see. We've done so much. Look at this. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot.
It was a lot of typing, at least.
Yeah.
And at least we have this pretty view. So if we would publish it, everyone could use the same tweet of viewers in his own projects.
Nice, enjoy. What do I say? Create basic functionality, or what did we do? Like, what did we do?
We've created the basic package structure and logic.
Yes.
So create basic.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Okay, so git push.
I think this doesn't work.
Let's
because
see
of
if
GitHub.
it works.
It
works.
Okay.
Ooh. Maybe I just fixed GitHub. We broke it and then we fixed it again. Let's see. Is it working?
Yeah. No, it still has incidents, but possibly not the Git following the GitHub starters, Git operations are also included.
Yeah.
Possibly you are lucky and your machine has a stable connection.
Special. That's what can I say? Special. Well, this has been, honestly, this was harder than I thought. Like I said, because I didn't prepare and I didn't look into anything and I didn't want to. But I have to say, even if I did look into things, I probably wouldn't be looking into the things we did right now, because you never look at those things, those functions. You just, like you said, you copy paste it or it's already provided for you. So no matter how much I prepared, I wouldn't have known these things. So this is really, this was amazing.
So this part we have done now is the thing you can copy paste from a similar package, for example, and customize it to your needs. Or you have already created a package similar to this one you own, so you know the bits and can you reuse them. So these 2 hours get a lot faster and a lot easier on your second package and your third one. And if you use one of the skeletons or copy from any existence package. So I can tell you that some of my astronomic packages, for example, are really small. So you don't have to delete a lot of things. I know that several sparse ones, for example, are really large. So you have to remove a lot of custom stuff. So you don't need, if you just want to publish a single component.
I'm going to stop sharing the screen because I just realized that I pushed everything. I'll let you see all the mess. What do you call it? Like when you've got the repeated mirrors, you keep seeing deeper and deeper when you screen share. Let me stop the screen share, and now I'm gonna move it so that I can actually look at you. This was good. Let's do it. Well, we have to finish it because otherwise next Friday. Shall you do next Friday again? I
think I'm available.
Let's see if nothing else comes up, but next Friday should be fun. Well, thank you, Tom. I mean, I'm amazed at all the knowledge you have, that you know exactly what's going on in every function. Like this is, this has been great.
I just have a lot of PHP Storm instances open with some reference projects.
But still, you know what needs to be done. So, and I also have to say, I'm never going to do this again, as in like building from scratch.
If someone put me on a new machine without any of my projects and say, write a new package, I would be nearly the same you are, because I don't know any of these things in my head. I just know where to find it. So I could open GitHub and copy from there at least, but it's not that I have everything in my brain. And if someone says, write a package, I can sit down on a blank new machine and write it from scratch. This doesn't work. And I think if Frank is here, he will say the same, that even he, after like 100 or 200 packages, wouldn't be able to write a from scratch new one without any reference project on a blank new machine. He's saying copying stuff all the time. Same here.
Adrian said that the reason I could push was because I'm using SSH. Come on, don't spoil it for us. No. I fixed GitHub. Let's leave it at that. No SSH. Fixed GitHub. That's what it was. Or that we are special. One or the other. But okay, well, thank you all for coming and watching me struggle. But I mean, for me, it was fun. It was fun. And I was really nervous because I don't do live streaming, as you know, or at least I don't do live coding on a stream. And So I thought, I'm going to forget everything. Like, my fingers are not going to listen to me. I will forget how to type. But it was okay. It could have been much worse. Could have been much worse. So it was great. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Hope you had fun. And see you next time, probably Friday.
Yeah, next week.
See you next week. See ya. Bye.
See ya.